I think this is what happens, doesn't it? We want to do something and we know where we want to be, and then we get to a certain point and we have a blip, a road bump is there. We see it and we perceive it as a failure, and we then don't think that we're good enough to get to where it is that we want to be. So the majority of the time we think we need to stop, that we shouldn't move forward. But really, that stopping point, it's like a big neon flashing sign telling you exactly how you can get over that road bump. It's like a sat nav giving you a direction on a better course.
Hi, my name is Johnny Lawrence and welcome to another episode of Live Talk. Today I'm here with an incredibly inspirational lady. Her name is Natalie Guyan. How are you, Natalie?
Hi, thanks for having me and giving me your time to talk to me today.
Oh no, I'm grateful for your time. I'm really looking forward to people hearing your story. It's a one hell of a story. But before we get into it, I'll just tell people a bit about you. So you are a food and fitness mentor. Is that right?
Yes.
I love
that's
that.
My current MO. Yeah, that's what I'm
your
currently
MO.
Cruising with. Yeah.
Known by many other things, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Also, you know, more notably, you have this incredible TED Talk, which I've seen quite a few times now, called Designed to Fail. And the last time I looked, you had 1.1k views. And I encourage anybody on YouTube to go and check that out. You'll probably hear quite a bit of it today, but nonetheless, it looked like a fantastic experience. That must have been something.
It was. I mean, from being asked to do one and what happened with delivering it from start to finish was completely different. And it's something that I think everybody should have the opportunity to prepare and do a TEDx, because it really allowed me to understand myself better and actually see myself very differently, almost like polar opposite. I definitely didn't go out there with the intent of putting my hand up and going, look guys, I'm just this big failure and look at all these things I've failed at. You know, I wanted to look like the absolute nuts and do this amazing TED Talk on how great I am and all the good things that I've done. But it wasn't until I realized that my success was built upon everything that I'd failed and learned from and grown, that I could actually take stock of how high I'd got to where I am and how I'd done it. And
I love it.
So it was as much me growing through the process of doing it, putting it together, as it was the end event.
I mean, that is something else, really, because I mean, there are not many people on this planet that get to talk about what the actual experience of doing a TED Talk, a TEDx talk. I mean, that's definitely sort of in a certain percent, I would say. I don't know what the percentage should be. Put myself on the spot now. Just to finish up with your introduction, because you've got.
I mean, I think it's very community driven. A lot of the time, they are done in small towns and theatres and communities, and they are done with a specific theme or subject within that community. But I think they've kind of blown up massively, and then we get to see them through the YouTube channel. But I think it's something that each community can actually apply for. So it'd be great to see more communities with more real people doing them. The actual subject was more on personal development.
Okay,
so
perfect.
Which is a big one for TED. It's quite a wide scoped one. There were some amazing speakers there on the day. There was a life coach and a chef who talked about, actually, it was really cool. She spoke about how food is so central to our social way of life and how we express ourselves and our emotions through food. So that was really interesting. A number of life coaches.
They were a dime a dozen, you know.
Mental health. So it was really nice to actually sit and listen to a lot of other people do theirs as well. So the whole thing was was an amazing experience from start to finish. It's something that if you ever, anyone listening, someone says do a TEDx, do it for your own self, do it for your own experience,
I would
or
love to
arrange one in your community and get everyone that inspires you to put something together.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. I'd love that opportunity, maybe one day. But I mean, just to finish up, you've got this lovely mission statement on your website: inspire, educate, and empower. I just think that's fantastic. At no point are you taking ownership of somebody else's life. You're entirely giving them the power to make that change. And I think that's just a great way to look at things, because I think sometimes in the fitness industry, people can be deluded into thinking that by hiring a trainer or a coach that something magic's going to happen. But all you know, all
And
we do.
I think it's quite honest as well. In the part of our training, we're encouraged as to how we can make sure that our clients keep renewing with us in a way. But I actively encourage my clients to find independence. I show them how they've got the tools within them and find them within themselves to be able to go on and go forward and empower themselves. Because that's what was given to me, and that's what I've done. So I want to be able to pass that on.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that's the right way. I remember talking to a marketing company once, and they asked me what my goal was, and I said, with my clients, it's always to do that, what you said, inspire and educate them to a point where they're able to go out on their own and they're self-sufficient and they don't need me. And around Christmas or holidays, the wheels might fall off and they might come back for 5 sessions, but you know, they generally know what to do on their own. You know, they can wander into any gym on a holiday, wherever, and take charge of their own fitness and exercise. And they looked at me and they said, "That's the worst business plan I've ever heard."
Not scalable.
Okay. Anyway, listen, you mentioned before that you talked a bit about failure. Now, for anyone that hasn't seen the Design to Fail TED Talk or TEDx talks, that's quite a significant part of your journey. So you've had a very unique experience with failure, and I'd like you to tell everyone about it, if that's all right.
Yeah, I'm a bit like the Forrest Gump of failure, really. I think, well, and I didn't realise this, again, like I said, until I did my TED Talk. I mean, I was under the disillusion that, you know, I had to have this perception of being perfect. You know, you don't want for people to see your flaws, you know. And I remember even as a child having to go on stage and feeling so nervous about that, being sick, you know, you wanted everything to be perfect, almost like a fear of not being perfect. So when I was asked to do this TEDx, actually coming back down and thinking, you know, okay, is it this, is it that, what is it, and it was the fact that I have failed, and each and every time I failed, I've recognized the lesson, and I've taken that failure, and that failure has become my ultimate strength, and then enabled me to go on and to go forward. And for those that haven't seen the TEDx, I failed my driving test 6 times. Well, it's actually 5 times I failed.
Technicality.
Never for the same reason. Never for the same reason. And I actually got the date wrong once as well. So I turned up to the test centre trying to blag it on the wrong day. They were having none of it. I mean, I actually thought I could learn to drive in 2 weeks. I thought, this is easy. Everyone drives. So I'm going to book myself in for my test in 2 weeks' time. I'm going to learn to drive in 2 weeks. And, you know, the lesson there is no. You know, from not being able to drive, my expectations were completely unrealistic. And I think this is very much like any kind of weight loss plan and any kind of plan in life, really. It's where our expectations are at. And if we don't have our expectations right, we are setting ourselves up a little bit to fail along the way. But if we allow ourselves to fail and embrace those failures and take them as lessons that we can turn into strengths to be more empowered with, we can go on to nail exactly what it is that we want to achieve. So going back down to my memory lane of just relentlessly trying to learn how to drive and doing my driving test was a big reminder to me that that represented a lot of the diets that I did along the way. I lost 70 pounds. I didn't do it following one method. I tried a lot of different things until I found really what worked for me. And what worked for me was looking at the foods that I liked in the portions that I needed, that aligned with my goals, and making sure that I could enjoy my life and didn't feel deprived, you know?
So a big part of that, and maybe I should have mentioned at the beginning, is that you are somebody that has lost a significant amount of weight. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how much was it in the end?
Somewhere in the region of 70 odd pounds. I don't know what I weigh now. I took a sledgehammer to my scales and I smashed my scales because I became more interested in actually what my body could do. You know, all the different and amazing sports and activities. I mean, within CrossFit alone, learning to climb a rope, Olympic lifting, becoming stronger, becoming faster, all of those things became more relevant than stepping on the scale on a Monday morning and giving myself a complete head mess. So I smashed them. But digressing slightly, along the way, 70 pounds, which is about 30, 35 kilos, more or less.
I mean, that's remarkable. I mean, that's standing alone. That is one heck of an achievement. I mean, you must still be proud of yourself on that front, are you? Because I mean, as I look at you now, it looks to me like you've very much kept the weight off and you're looking super fit. So well done, honestly, well done.
Yeah. I mean, I've maintained that loss for 5-6 years.
I'd imagine
it's just something that's life now.
There's a significant difference in that. Is it wasn't just the act of reducing your calorie, you know, because there's something I get. I understand in principle, but I always find very difficult, and that is the whole eat less, do more. In principle, that makes absolute sense. That is the problem. Eat less, do more. But telling somebody that who struggles with their weight, who battles with their weight, telling somebody eat less, do more is like telling somebody that came second in the race, oh, sorry, mate, you should have run faster. They know that. And it's not helpful. And then so for you to keep it off, you must have significantly changed your outlook on life and your approach to more or less everything. I mean, one of the things I wanted you to speak about was like whether or not it was something you always struggled with, and what actually led you to gain that weight and then subsequently lose the weight afterwards.
Yeah, you know, I'm your average normal person. So growing up as a teenager, you know, my weight would yo-yo along with my mates, my mum. I've done the slim fast, I've done this, I've done that. I followed all of the trends and the fads, and I've been up and I've been down. I've been a size 14 to a size 10. So as I sort of went through my later teens, and clubbing became quite a fun thing to do, you know, my life took this kind of journey where just eating less became part of the lifestyle, and I was definitely dancing and staying up later and moving more. When that stopped and I went into a corporate role, like we do, we get older, we realize we've got more responsibilities, we take that serious job, we sat down at a desk. So my desk, more stress, more workload, moving less, socializing, eating more. Obviously, the opposite then happened. And before I knew it, I'm in a relationship, I'm pregnant, more weight is going on, I have a baby, I turn around, see a picture of myself, and I'm like, who is that? You know, like, what's going on there? Didn't recognize myself. And it's something that is so common. You're active when you're younger, your life changes when you perceive yourself as a grown-up and you've got to take other things more seriously and more time is spent sitting down working. Then you're settled in a relationship and you have kids and you put on the pregnancy weight. So at that point, I was unrecognizable to myself, and my now husband had proposed, And so I'd seen this photo, and I just didn't want to be a plus size bride. It's not the image that I had in my head of myself, what I could see, who I was. It just didn't correlate, it didn't make sense. So
was that your initial motivation, would you say?
Yeah, it definitely kind of kick-started it. There was a lot of other stuff that was involved around there at the time. I think the nagging voice of my sister trying to give me a little bit of a nudge and encouragement. But it's not until you see these things yourself and actually recognize, oh, that's not who I am. I think there was a bit of body dysmorphia there as well. It's not what I saw in the mirror, because you don't see it every day. It's not until you turn around and it slaps you in the face somewhat and you're like, wow. Wow. So
I mean, that's what I've seen with many clients, and for the first, I've been in the fitness industry for quite a while now, decade and a half, and in the first few years, I would take on any client. I was just grateful to have clients. But after a while, I started to realize, as part of my consultation process, that I had to see exactly that. Somebody who was ready and to take ownership, because I didn't like taking money from somebody and not helping them achieve their goal. I didn't want to be that person or that trainer. And, that's why I asked you, was that your initial motivation? Because I tell you something, getting married for a female is one heck of a motivation.
Yeah,
it always is.
It really was. Just it was like day and night in what I saw, and then it was the catalyst to start trying to do things. But then again, it's like what you mentioned earlier. I knew I had to move more and eat less, but actually trying to work out how to do that is where I could sit here now and tell you so many failures. And talking about clients, I think this is what happens, doesn't it? We want to do something and we know where we want to be, and then we get to a certain point and we have a blip, a road bump is there. We see it and we perceive it as a failure, and we then don't think that we're good enough to get to where it is that we want to be. So the majority of the time, we think we need to stop, that we shouldn't move forward. But really, that stopping point, it's like a big neon flashing sign telling you exactly how you can get over that road bump. It's like a sat nav giving you a direction on a better course. And for me, for example, one of the first things, I was using slimming patches, wasting my money on those. We all know, you're laughing there. Sense tells us, don't waste your money on that. Okay,
but you're in that frame of mind. I've met so many clients that would just do anything, and they're so desperate. And that's part of the problem with certain industries. They prey on that vulnerability of somebody that just really doesn't know what to do. They just need the help, and it's not the client's fault. It's not the person's fault. They don't stand a chance. The power of advertising and marketing when it comes to those things, that they've really thought about it. They're using some very
but they worked when I wanted to give up smoking, Johnny, so I thought they were going to work.
Well, yeah. I know. Anyway, sorry.
I mean, it's so. No, that's all right. They prey on people, and I am making a laugh and a joke of this because you've got to see the lighter side of it. Yes, I really did that, but it had worked when I wanted to give up smoking. So there was some kind of sense of me saying, well, this is going to work as well. It'll stop me from wanting to eat the food, maybe.
Yeah.
And then it's calorie controlled diet, going to some kind of Weight Watchers meeting, from one thing to another, and everything gave me a lesson. Everything was a neon sign. Go this way, add that in, less of this, more of that. And
brilliant.
It's all there for us. Whatever it is you want to do, when you get to that bit where you think, oh no, I failed, let off the sirens of success, because look at what it is that you think that you failed at and how you can use that for your next course of action. That's exactly where it is. No different from, I didn't get the first job I wanted to get into recruitment. This is in the TEDx as well. They asked me to sell them a pen. I didn't know how to do that. waving the pen around, giving it this, oh, look how wonderful this is. Didn't get the job. Went to the next interview. It must have been the thing at the time, because the next guy's asked me to sell him the pen. But the previous guy told me what I needed to do. So I was able to then go on and get the job. And we get these little gift horses all throughout life. It's just knowing that they are there and just going, oh, where is it? There it is. I'm going to use that. How am I going to use it? I'm going to put it in my back pocket for later. I need that for a rainy day. That's all it is.
I love that. That's wow. There's so much there. So honestly, what you're saying is just incredibly inspirational, and the way you're saying it as well, it's so relatable, and that's why I love listening to you, because the stuff you say comes from a real place, a real person. You know, it's real talk. You know, it's not like somebody who is a multi-millionaire and paid some trainer and all this sort of stuff. It is someone who was like, right, okay, I'm going to figure this out. Right, I messed that up. How did I mess it up? I did that. Right, won't be doing that again. And that's just the way life is, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And I mean, I think if you look back through my older videos, I look a little bit more preppy and stiff and trying to give off this, I don't know, some kind of a facade, because we constantly have that put on us from social media. Look like this, be like this, eat like this, do like this. So it's an absolute minefield for people to actually reflect on themselves and why their uniqueness and differentness is the key to their successes, and how they can move forward just being themselves, rather than all the while being afraid to fail, when failing is your biggest strength. You use that adversity to grow.
Yeah, I mean, to support what you've just said, if you think about it, one of our very earliest lessons in life of learning to walk, and we stand up, we fall over. We stand up, exactly. We fall over. If we were of the thinking that we would fall over and never get up, then we would never walk. We'd all be guys like, so do you not walk? No, I fell over.
I don't want to fall over. Yeah. No, I don't want to fall over.
It wasn't for me.
I might bump my chin on the sofa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But instead, we for something in us says from a very young age says, no, I fell over, but I'll try again. I mean, you can't stop a kid from trying. I wish you could at some times. Some of my, you know, what my second child. I mean, he started walking too early, and it was like, oh no, you know, everything was getting broken and knocked over. It was crazy. But I mean,
and then from that, you learn to move it out of eye height.
Well, yeah, we learned something from that. You know, but
it's just like that, and it's just breaking it down, like that. You know, absolutely. Even when it comes to training, John, you know, you want to push sometimes to those failure reps, because that's when you then push past that fitness level and you increase your speed or your strength.
Yeah.
Exactly like that.
I mean, I've said it to clients in the past that the training, that's the catalyst for change. That's the stimulation, isn't it? That's what encourages the body to change, whether it's lose weight, gain muscle, get faster, get stronger, whatever it is. And I think the most neglected thing a lot of the time when someone's working with a coach is that rest and recovery. People keep trying to do more, but actually it's that rest and recovery that is responsible for that adaptation. So it's
absolutely, that's the moment where the reflection, that's the moment of reflection.
That's a lovely way to put it. I like that, reflection. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like the body reflecting, going, so that really hurt at the 10th rep. I think we need more muscle or more strength in the muscle, whatever.
So we need to get stronger.
That's it. Yeah, let's go.
Exactly. it's exactly like that.
So I mean, you tried lots of different ways forward, and you learn lots of things from your failures, but when did it actually start to happen for you when it comes to weight loss?
With a little bit all the way along. So there's been like chipping away. And then the inevitable, it didn't work. I failed, and I would gain some weight back, and it would take me a while to, I mean, at this point, there wasn't me going, oh yes, this is my neon light. There was none of that going on. It was
hindsight,
you know, feeling sorry for myself, thinking that it was because of my thyroid. I do have an underactive thyroid as well, which I would blame for everything. It would be something else. I would blame it on something, you know. And along the way, my mindset shifted, which was where I was able to then pick up and move forward with it. The big change was when my relationship with food and exercise changed. Rather than seeing food as the Antichrist and fighting with it and starving myself and depriving myself or abusing food and then abusing exercise, I found a love for it by actually seeing, oh my God, look what I can do. It's not a case that I need to go and kill myself doing exercise I don't enjoy. You find exercise that you do enjoy. There's no one way fits all, just I tried so many different things. I've done boxing, I've done running, I've done weightlifting, I've done Zumba classes. Everyone was going right, I was going left. That wasn't the one for me. I've run running clubs. I've tried lots of different things. And again, all these different things I tried, a lot of which I failed at. I wasn't the best at everything. And then when I started lifting heavier weights, I just felt this, it's very hard to put into a word how empowered you feel when you lift a heavy barbell. It's incredibly infusing, and it just hits so many notes for me. And then from there, I went and tried CrossFit, and then I was like a kid in a sweet shop. It was like, what do I try first? I want to climb this rope. I want to be able to do pull-ups. What about those handstand things? I couldn't do any of it. I couldn't even shoot a wall ball against the wall properly. Nothing was going right. But there's so much there to try. And then when you achieve a new skill, it feels good. It's a sense of achievement. So my relationship with fitness and food completely changed, because at that point I was like, well, if I eat all the vegetables and the fruit, then I'm feeling more energized. If I drink less alcohol, I feel better in the mornings. And so it was actually looking at how I was enriching my life rather than depriving myself. So I was fueling myself to be able to take part in events and to be able to increase in certain capacities. And then it just came together. And realizing, actually, this is how good my body is designed to feel. Look, I'm not feeling sluggish and lethargic and everything is a chore, because believe me, I was struggling to put washing out of the washing machine and get up the stairs. I was at that stage. I was over 100 kilos to being able to haul my backside up a rope and then go off running and swinging a barbell around. And some people might think, yeah, but that's not me. It certainly wasn't me until I gave it a try, and I failed and I tried again, So at this point...
But can I just highlight something you just said there, which I really, really loved, is you stopped looking at what was being taken away and started looking at what you were gaining. And I think that is the source, that right there is the crux of most of the problems that, someone wants to give up alcohol, or someone wants to give up smoking, or someone wants to give up anything or change their relationship with it, whichever you want to call it. And people get very unhappy about what it is that they're losing, and instead of thinking about what it is that they're gaining, because what you've gained, I mean, you said it there, you struggle to articulate it because you've gained so much, So I just wanted to, sorry to interrupt, I just wanted to highlight that because I thought that was quite a lovely statement.
Yeah. No.
You lost your train of thought now, haven't you?
I really think it is. It's not, I mean, it's like, it's not about what have you got to lose or losing, is it? It's about what have you got to gain.
Absolutely.
And I've got 2 kids now, one of which is 13. She's the same height as me. I can still pick her up as if she was a little one. I can still mess about with her. I might not be able to run as fast as her, but I can still give it a good go. I would I have been able to have done this if I didn't make the changes? Who knows? Who knows the answer to that? Probably not. but along the way, I've learned a lot. I've gained a lot of knowledge. I've learned a lot about myself. You know, it's
by not being afraid to fail.
I feel that actually, you know, if I can summarize a little bit there, that I feel like I've lived in those years. You know,
That's beautiful. I love that. I mean, if you don't mind me asking, what was your sort of top weight?
I didn't own scales at the time, but when I eventually did weigh myself, it was more than 100 kilos. So
okay. Yeah, I just wanted to give people context, you know, because what you did was remarkable. Are you still proud of yourself? Do you still take that opportunity to be proud of yourself?
It's yes, I would be lying if I didn't say I was. I am, but there's so much more, you know. I've good memories, you know. I have some fond memories along the way, some harsh ones as well.
Harsh lessons,
some harsh ones, some really harsh ones. I'm very grateful for the support of my husband and my kids to allow me to be able to do that, you know, and to be able to help others.
And that's because you've totally changed your life now, haven't you? I mean, tell people what you do and where you live. So you mentioned that, you know, you were getting married, you were a recruitment consultant, and
my husband and I run a very well-known recruitment business in the UK. We're very successful. So it was a high demanding job, very stressful. Sat down at a desk working with engineers, electrical, mechanical engineers in the construction industry. And then 4 years ago, my husband's like, you just spend your life in the gym now. Like, what do you want to do? And I was like, this is what I want to do. And I want to help other people to do what I've done. And he stood by me and supported me to do that. So I'm very grateful to him for that. And I qualified as a personal trainer. And then I was given this amazing opportunity to be a CrossFit coach for CrossFit Marbella. And they allowed me to build a demographic of women-only CrossFit, actually. So I did that. And then I needed to take back some time and stock with my family. So now I work closer to home and I run functional fitness classes. Have to be careful there. Functional fitness classes in my home village of Benavis, which is the Benavis boot camp. And we've got a really nice community, and I took up the CrossFit Kids qualification, so I coach kids and women, and I even have some of the husbands that are now coming along as well. So
they give in eventually.
they do. This is, you know, it's nice, but everyone's super supportive. It's a rewarding job. It's an energizing role to do, and then to actually watch other people progress and to see them achieve things, I love it. So it's from going to helping people find new jobs in recruitment to enriching their life with fitness. Perhaps maybe not so different there. And recently I've completed the precision nutrition qualification. So I'm certified as a nutrition coach.
Nice.
Which is something that I think has really bolted on so much doing that, looking through, having those neon moments. That's when I learned that, you know, looking back through stuff like that, when it's there in the course. That was a really cool course to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's brilliant. That must be lovely to see that. You've got that experience and now that education. You can't beat that combination. That's exactly what's needed to change people's lives. And as you say, it's such a fantastic thing to be able to help people and to see that light bulb moment and see that progress and to see that person's going to be okay now, and that it's just about being patient and consistent and getting the work done, and they'll be fine. You know, that's a lovely feeling. Just as
cheesy as it sounds, that smile, that you see that energy radiate through people.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, most important lesson that you think you could pass on to someone, what do you think that would be? I think I know, but I'll get you to say it anyway.
The most important thing that anyone can realize is it's in them. They can do it. Whatever it is that they want to do, It is 150% possible. Don't stop at the first hurdle. That hurdle is your lesson. It's just telling you which way to go. Whatever you want to do, go for it. You can do it.
Ah, just got goosebumps. Love that. Absolutely love that. So just to finish up, honestly, this has been great. I could sit and talk to you for hours. I might well do. We'll just turn the camera off. But
I've got my tea on the go.
Oh, good. I've got no one bringing me tea. That's not fair. Okay, so yeah, what's next for you? Opportunity just to talk about any projects you've got coming up, or any social media or anything like that.
Well, given my demographic is growing, I'm looking at just making sure that I'm growing with them. So I've just started a posture correction course, actually. It's the NASAM one, because the majority of us spend so much time sat at desks or on our mobile phones and devices, which is something, again, that I was doing. It led to my weight gain. And I think it's really important to make sure not only are we exercising, but we're recovering well, that our mobility is good, and that the pre and the post care is all there for the guys that I train with as well. So I'm excited to dig a little bit deeper into that, so that it can make sure that I keep making everybody move forward safely.
Yeah. I mean, that's just great. I love the way that you're not content with, like, okay, I've got this, I've got that. You're always learning yourself. I mean, that's the mark of a special person there. You know, definitely. What's your social media and website and things like that? Where can people find you?
My website is natalieguyan.com. It's just my name. It's simple enough. I just thought that will do for now. Maybe it'll be something else in the future. But my Instagram is at becoming Shira, and I'll tell you why.
I love it.
So I have this amazing friend, Alison, and when I was like lifting weights, she's like, "But you've lost all your weight. What are you doing now?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've got muscles like Shira." You know, Shira and He-Man.
Yeah.
I'm telling my age now. I'm 41, but yeah. So
That's all right. I'm there with you.
I wanted to be like Shira. So my mountain bike is actually Swiftwind. Shh, don't tell anyone. Yeah, I fancy myself as some kind of kindred superhero. Well, we all are, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
I liked her when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Maybe the gold boots and the headpiece, something like that. So I'm becoming, and I think we are always becoming, aren't we? We're never in a final stage. I think, you know, when we talk about transformation and we peel off these layers, you know, like these failures that we find, the neon signs, we're always becoming the next version of ourselves. So I'm definitely going to keep that tag.
I love it. Absolutely love it. And then obviously just to say, your Design to Fail TEDx talk is on YouTube. Give that a watch. It really is great. I mean, you go into a lot more detail in that about some of the things you've spoken about today, and there's quite a bit of humor in there too. I laughed quite a few times.
And it's less than 13 minutes long, so
you might have a stand-up career in you know.
I tell you what, I've definitely got some prangs that could pull out. You know, there's definitely been some blip moments along the way, and if you went through my phone and saw the outtake videos, that could make for some too.
Listen, Natalie, thank you so much for your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and I really hope I catch up with you soon. I'm going to be continuing to watch your journey as it unfolds on social media, simply because you're lucky enough to live in Spain. So there you go. Oh,
likewise, watching you go has been amazing as well. So looking forward to seeing where you go with this.
Thank you so much, and thanks again for your time. Take care.